Okay, so we will continue from where we left off. So I did eventually find why this was erroring, obviously, because what we are referring here, like this guy, the outrest glass depends on a few factors, right? So we were all using the wedge BLDG glass, but here it's $F. So basically, when I was trying to do the static option, I was trying to call frame 1, and this was off. By default it was like this, and this was off. So then I figured out it's trying to call frame 1 because the error message was saying like that as well. It was saying I couldn't find the file because it was trying to call frame 1. So then I tried doing this, yet it still failed and it still tried to call frame 1. So I don't know if this thing is correctly working or not, or maybe if there's a $F it's supposed to work. So then the final solution was to say frame range is 1000 to 1000, and this ended up generating that file. So it loads the simulation from first frame because we're using the sides of the building. So we could have used the original asset as well, but this is the way we chose to go. It was just like some little fix. Okay, now basically my entire network chain is cooked. So I'm just gonna double check that again, because every time I open the Houdini it kind of says it's not done. Oh, is this checking or is this populating? Okay, maybe this is not baked, so let's stop this one. Let's check. These ones were done, I believe. Yes. So whatever this is, I'll check now. Let's go down and let's just cook this guy basically, and it should just get everything green because all this was cooked, including that should have been. Oh, this is missing something. BLDG dust sim. This is fixing this, missing the sub path. I believe we make this one somewhere. It's supposed to be this one, I believe. Oh, this is the debris. No, but this is the dust. So we have we missed something here. This is the test. Debris source. Pyro. Then we did the advection with this one. So in between, I think I kind of lost this somewhere. Which was dust. Oh, we renamed the thing. Oh shoot. Yeah. I think at some point we renamed this, and this is where this broke. So this is supposed to be building dust sim because our output was this. So let me copy that and see if that's gonna make sense. And now this should, if I select this guy, it should find the folder, and it did not yet because this is BLDG sim. Secondary services, was it this one? Okay, I think it was. Yeah, this is true. This is supposed to be this. Let's cook it again. If I select this, in and out. Okay, now we found the files. So I guess now if I say resume partially, and if I say cook, 7 continue, find the files, don't do it again please. Oh, it's not gonna find them. Okay, kill it. I changed too many things. Alright, but if the files are here, okay, so I think if I open this in and out again, it will probably find them. This is 1000 to 1250 is supposed to find files at wedge 0 from and as $F. Guess what? Let's do that. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's close this. Let's open it again. It's opening on my other screen. And it's coming. I think I didn't reboot for a few days, so it's a little slow, I guess. All right, let's open the last file. It's part 7, right? Or part 8, I'll check now. It's a part 7, okay. I've been recording this for a while, almost quite a few days now. Let me see, the first file we started on 1st of August. So it took me a month to come to the end. Recording around 20 hours. So let's cook it all the way to here. Okay, now it's doing its thing again as usual. I would really prefer this to just say this looks okay, and I will find the files. But let's see how it goes. Alright, it's using what we need anyway, so let's try. Okay, so I found them. That's good. This needs to be complete. This needs to be complete as well. They're also complete. So let's run this one. Okay, so we are, and we need to. Okay, this is our secondaries for the ground, right? So we need to hook this guy up as well. Let's run that too. Those should light up just fine. Now let's investigate what this was. This was our trees, so this is, let's get this guy on. So the trees needs to be coming out from out trees. So what we're doing here, let's have a look. This was some time ago, I think. I don't remember, to be fair. Okay, these were our points, so we are going to probably cache this guy, not this guy, because this box was representative of the tree, and this does that, and which means we need to get our let me see, this is our land, this is the mesh, so this is the animated proxy, so we need to get the RBDs, right? RBDs cannot be found here. I think we changed the name, and they are now in, we can load them from terrain RBD, which means we can load them from this guy here. Okay, so that should work, and in that case we don't want to keep edge, so there's no test switch. Was that a test switch? We made a test switch, so let's turn that off. I remember this one, and let's go in here, so it should load everything now, which it did. So then this I need to bring it back in the terrain to this guy to deform my points for the tree structure, for the 3 instance points. So terrain RBD, where was it? It's in here. And now if you go here, let's go back in the terrain. Alright, so this is now the simulated side geo. This is the center, so this needs to be unpacked, I think. If it's unpacked, it's going to be slow, but that's probably okay. We can try the, nah. Well, yeah, we can try the centroids. They have enough points, maybe it will work. Let's give it a try. Let's keep it that way. So this is my, and if I scroll, right, it's gonna update. Okay, so let's see if we can stick the boxes here. Let's see if this works. We may need to unpack. So they will stick, but they'll stand. They won't rotate most likely like this. However, it's quite fast, but let's see if we get something better by unpacking this, which I think we should. Obviously it's going to be slower. Well, yeah, was some rotating, but not as much. Okay, am I overwriting anything here? It's just a P scale. Do I have any normals? I am attribute randomizing the orient here. Okay. Oh, maybe this is what I can do. What happens if I say we have normals here? I believe not there, but yeah, here we should have normals. This is unpacked as well. We have some has normals, some don't. This one doesn't have normals. This one has normals vertex. So let's create normals here. Okay. Now let's attribute promote those normals so we can push them to the points. Let's see if it does any good. Vertex to point, normal, attribute transfer. So we're basically at the moment overriding. No, we have to disable it because normal orientation will be orient attribute will override the normals. So this goes hidden, that goes normal. Now let's see what the threes will do. So they are all sideways. So this doesn't look right either. Looks better though. It looks a bit more mixed up, but we can probably fix that when we are instancing actual geometry. So let's leave it at that, and in the render scene we'll address that. So let's do a little test now, test render. So what I need is, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this 8, and this is going to be, say this render scene part 1. Then we'll probably start with an empty scene. Part 2, part 3 will continue. We can start by organizing this area, and then we will pretty much transfer this area to a clean scene. I guess it's a bit nicer that way. So we need to render animated land, but this is going to determine what we need to bake as Redshift proxies, right? So we need to do this one, and then if I go to frame like, let's go to 1230. Let's turn on the RBD land render as well. So it's loading, obviously. Oh, it didn't load. Are we testing anything? No, this is here. This is here. This is not doing anything. Oh, yes, because no, this should work. These are my points. Yes, this is broken. So rest will be 1000. Okay, so if I have a look here, okay, this is my RBD pieces for my land. Let's do a little render. Let's save. Let's hope it's not gonna crash. We need a light, obviously. I can get rid of this now. with the Redshift because that's what I'm using nowadays. Let's just create a sunlight, not from this angle maybe. Okay, standard sunlight. Okay, and let's create the Redshift ROPs using the shelf tool, and I'm just gonna say this is which version? This is the last version, 3.0.54. I think we're gonna put this on, now they have the new UI, we'll put this on the low. I don't need denoising at the moment. These settings comes with global illumination and irradiance point cloud. I think the next thing is I do just render view. Okay, so now one more thing. I'm gonna pin this guy here. And I'm going to add these as forced objects one at a time. So first thing is animated land render and RBD land render. Okay. So let's go render view, select crop, yes. And camera is gonna be what camera? Let's pick our camera. Shot 1. Okay, shot 1. And hit render. Now it's gonna do some geo stuff, and it will start rendering. Probably have to orient the lights a little bit, but we'll find out. Okay, it's doing its thing. Preparing ray tracing hierarchy for meshes. So basically, once you have the proxies, this process is so much faster. Okay, let's select the light. And I think I can do it from the viewport as well. Is this changing anything? Yeah, it is. Okay, there we go. And maybe I'm not sure which way is this supposed to move. Oh, this is coming behind the camera now. Okay. This is fine. Low angle, nice, God rays. Okay, let's leave it like this. So, this is some reflective material, obviously. So I'm going to kill the render. Let's create a gray shader for now. So it's going to be in the material context. We're going to create a Redshift, just type material, sorry. If you type material, you're gonna get an RS material. No, not this one, RS material network. Material, RS material builder, yes, this is a bit more organized, so we'll cut this gray. If we dive inside, it's just gray, so we're gonna do like roughness is 1, reflection is none, and this should do 50% gray. Then we just have to select these two guys, go render, assign the material here, and then we render. Okay, let's wait a bit more. This is the part that has to do the geometry processing because we don't have the proxies yet. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to add. Maybe we can add the buildings RBD render. Obviously, these are our hero guys. Waiting for it to, oh, it's loading all the buildings. I didn't want all the buildings, I just want one, but we can, why not? But we have glass for only one building, so we're gonna it would be nice to render this, but the processing will take too long. So for now, we're just gonna limit ourselves to asset 0. So let's select the end of the loop to limit it to first iteration only. This guy here, and back to loading. Okay, now let's figure out where's our glass. Because we never built the glass loader. I think we can follow the exact same settings as this one. And to be frank, I'm gonna copy paste this. I'm gonna say buildings glass render or glass RBD render. And then we're gonna just change the input. Glass RBD render together goes with building render. So let's put this maybe here like this. So this is going to load in the glass cache we did here. So that's gonna be loading the output of this, because this goes like this. So let's copy. No, because we need to do it like that. So let's copy this one. And let's go into glass RBD render. So these are simulation points, right? So that goes there pretty much. Oh, but this is going to be supposed to be a wedge. So let's take this output and let's give this guy this name. We don't need this anymore. Then this needs to be correct, obviously. Goes here, and this becomes that backtick dollar slice. Okay, so this should now have access to our, if I put 0 here, I only have 0 anyway because we didn't simulate 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 whatever. So but this should only load now only one regardless. And it's going to load all of them, but it's going to be unpacked here. So this is all packed. That's good. Now here we need to load the glass, right? Corresponding glass that we cached out from here. So let's copy this path, and it's called RBD glass. Let's go back in here. Again, this becomes dollar slice. Dollar slice. Okay, and the node name is important because it's driving our folder, obviously, and our folder name is this. Here, 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 and here. Now, if I say just load, first it should just load the glass. Hopefully, let's save this. So we can apply the same principle with the frustum culling and. Okay, did it explode? I think it exploded here. So this is the glass. Oh, yes. No, this is fine. So this should load it in. This should unpack the glass. This should load the sim. Keep processed. Yeah, there's only one anyway. Unpack. So this is the glass. Clip. This doesn't seem to be doing anything here. This is fine. And here is not happening anything. So this is the part we're missing something. Cluster. Cluster. So this is correct. So what is not working? Okay. My glass geo. Oh, here's the problem. We're getting rid of the pieces somehow. Why? Because I have all the points here, 35,000, 35,000, 38,000. So it's kind of getting rid of some. Well, we don't want to get rid of any frustum guys here, so we'll just load everything here. Alright, so that's the glass. And if I go here out geo, so that is the glass and that is the building. Okay, let's add gray again to our building glass as well, and on out context our redshift drop, which we would like to now add this guy and this guy. Okay, obviously save, hit render, and wait. And I'll just pause it because the translation times are taking a bit longer every time we add more geo. Okay, so that's done. Let's play with the light, just because you know it's Redshift. Okay, so I think maybe something like this, or something like this, and maybe a little bit longer shadows. Okay, so like imagine having 10 of these, right? So this is some glass collapsing geo folder floors. We are not adding displacement to these guys yet because that's very expensive at this moment, and it's not it's kind of like a look dev task. This is not a look dev tutorial. It's just doing the basics from the look dev. Okay, so let's stop this. Let's pin in this picture. Let's start adding now the volumes and everything. So what do we have here? We have the volume. So this smoke is for the back. Let's load the building volume. So the building volume is simulated. We don't have this guy loaded here, I guess. Building pyro, right? Building pyro and building dust. So this is what we need to load in. So let's create another network view here. Let's call it building secondaries. Geo. Building volume render. And we go inside. So for this one, we're gonna load number 1. In that case, this is in here. Building, we're loading them here, but I think I have a loader here anyway, which I did load a long time ago. So let's copy this, go down to building volume render, paste it. Okay, obviously we don't want to render temperature, I think, at this moment. We'll do some fire sims if needed in the inferno section. Let me see. Okay, so this can stay like this. We can say call this in volume. So we need a volume shader for Redshift. Let's go to material. We can duplicate this. We can call it volume. Okay, dive inside. So we can get rid of this guy. Type volume. RS volume is connected to volume, and if you select it, it has some options. So let's pin this now so we can do some settings on it. I'll go here, and basically we don't want any emission yet, so emission field is not set. The next thing is that in Redshift you need to say no, I think you need to tell the light to contribute to volume. Okay, so now I'm just gonna render the volume first by itself. Let's see what happens. Alright, so it did render. So obviously this is very thick. It rendered quite fast actually. Like it didn't do any translation on it. But it's it's too thick, and if you guys remember, I was changing the settings anyway in the volume visualization tool. Oh, and also we did not assign the material. And basically, let me re-render this again and dive inside the volume and dial some settings down. I'm going to increase my max to be higher, and we are driving density. Okay, is this it's not affecting at the moment? Did I not apply to the correct place? Oh yeah, I forgot that Redshift doesn't like certain attributes, so it's just the name I'm keeping. When I do that, it starts obeying the shader settings, which is first we started with changing the range. Okay, so if I go maybe 6, then I'll stop this render, bring the buildings back. Let's do the particles as well. That will be building dust sim, this guy. So let's copy this, bring it here, geometry, building dust sim. Dive inside, paste the file node. So this is the dust. So let's just render the dust now until it kind of makes sense. I don't need to see these anymore, so it doesn't slow up my loading. Out dust. So let's see what the dust renders out of the box. It renders nothing. Let's go back to object level. So I have some points here, right? I have some points, and oh yes, because these are still VDB points. Redshift doesn't know what that means. So VDB convert points to, well, extract points to points. So these are now, there's orientation, there is P scale, there's velocity. Let's see what this does. The P scale does look reasonable. So let's hit render. Okay, it says it's doing something, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, let's make the P scale bigger maybe. I'm gonna delete everything. Attribute delete. And the ID and orient. I'm gonna delete P scale, and I'm gonna give it a P scale first. Oh, I think there's a, if I don't remember wrong, we had to tell them that these are points. Render as points, no particles. Yes, I was correct. So my setting was probably correct as well. Let's hit render. Okay. Oh, and obviously, did we add that as well? Yeah. Okay. So this is correct. This is an particle. Okay, I'm gonna delete again everything. Start debugging what doesn't work. So let's get, again, let's just keep maybe, okay, let's get rid of everything but ID and velocity actually, because I think the rest should be fine. Okay, so now I see them. So maybe it was P scale was way too small. All right, but I do want to keep that P scale because we were using it for like for something. So let's keep the P scale, just multiply it with a big number. P scale, and I think we can do that even here as a global multiplier here. So let's go maybe 10. Let's hit render. Let's see what it does. Okay, now I see them, but they're probably bigger than what I would like them to be. So let's go 2. So So 2 is too small. Let's go 4. Okay, now I kind of see them more. Maybe that's okay. So let's now bring back all this basically in here as well. I'm gonna pin this. What do I need? I need animated land render, RBD land render, buildings RBD render, glass RBD render, building volume render, building dust render. Okay, then I'm going to copy all this because it's very difficult to remember, and put this guy in a note here so I can copy paste later. Okay, the other thing I didn't test yet is the ground secondaries. So let's close this maybe, and let's load in so this is the debris. These are just boxes now, and then there's some particles. So let's go with these first. Again, let's not forget the particles needs to be told that there are particles explicitly, and maybe we'll play with the size later on. Volumes we can turn it on as well, and let's get same shader. This is going to be unpacked, and this one doesn't have any fancy nodes on it, so that should be okay. Error unpacking. We don't. Okay, let's load them in unpacked, so it doesn't error. Okay. Volumes, and let's render. Okay, so this volume is way too light. So let's create a different shader for this volume and assign it, because they're different. Also, this will be volume BLDG. This will be volume ground. Okay, so then this one is going to have maybe 2, and it's gonna have its own shader. This one is going to have its own shader, and these guys are going to be gray. So then I will hit render again. Okay, I think we can go even denser on this volume. Oh, wait a second, this is not the right section. No, it's volume ground, and I would like it to be maybe 1. Okay, this is not adjusting it. Oh, it is. Okay, and this one really doesn't have much volume, so we're gonna make that thicker by, we can go like this, maybe 4, maybe 4 is too much. So let's go 2. Let's keep it this way now. So as soon like everything is rendering on our end, we just we simulate only the secondaries of the first building basically. There is one other thing we can build for sure, is the generic volume that I built for my environment, and I called it basically fog breakup volume. So let's do that as well. So let's shrink this guy here. Let's create another network. Let's call it atmospherics, I guess. Not there. Outside, please. Here. Environment atmospherics. call this env atmos. It's gonna be a geo. We're gonna name this volume fog broken volume render. So not as in broken doesn't work, but broken as in shapes. Let's drop in a box. This is roughly the size that I already determined. It's going to be 1621, 600, 1621. So it covers our scene. Then I'm converting this to VDB from polygons using VDB from polygons set to 4 and fog VDB set to density. Okay. Now drop in a volume warp. Volume warp was here. No, that's not the correct one. Volume warp. And in here, basically, I'm doing a few things. I'm creating a, if I look from here, oh, this is a one axis, we are one axis short. This, okay. So if I go inside, so I want to create a fall off on y-axis. Let's put a relative box that's like this, right? So then we can get vector to float to get the values on y-axis, which is the second input. Then I'm creating a ramp, which is a curve hooked input. Its input is the y-axis. Basically, this is my density, right? So I can first observe how this works by plugging this guy here, and it is calculating. So it's gone. It's gone because first it is very high res at the moment. So let's go 10 for now. Just a bit faster, because curves by default come like this. So if I do that, okay. So I see the density is going less here. So obviously, I think I want this to be 1 and this to be none. Okay. Oops. And then we can do something like take this guy, convert it to spline, take the first guy, spline, and then pull this guy somewhere here. Okay. And that's going to give us a soft fall off. And we'll have to play with the settings with this. So now let's give it a little breakup. So the way to give a breakup is I can put a turbulent noise. Sorry. Turbulent noise. Plug P to P. Then let's put a multiply. And the output, first one here, second one here, and then plug this guy here. Now obviously this is too noisy. My current settings were 0.05 here, 0.005 here, and 0.005 here, and roughness is set 2.8. Okay, so it kind of creates like soft clouds. If you look through the camera, there's a little fall off. So yesterday I found something called procedural clouds. This is for let me type clouds to see if it comes. No, it's not. It's maybe procedural. It's labs procedural smoke. So I didn't know this. I was watching one of the YouTube videos and then I found this. And this might be just the right thing in a better way. It somehow comes in the different axes. So I'm gonna do like 1, so this 1, right? So this is gonna be maybe 5. So this kind of is nicer. They're actually like clouds. The resolution, let me see if this is the resolution here. It's the point separation, because we need something really big. So 50. Okay, and we actually need something 500. Let's see. We may have to reduce the resolution now to maybe 5. Okay, 500. Okay, 3 times this, 1621, 1621, and 600, but let's go 10 here, so it's a bit faster, and now 500. It's not that fast, but it's doing it. I think we can change the settings here and there. So that's obviously not gonna work. Let's go maybe 50, so it's a bit faster. Okay, so now let's play with the, I guess, let's turn this on. The density is giving us point clouds. We don't want that. I think it's the element size. Okay, let's maybe make this 100. Also, this 100. Detail. There's no detail. I don't want to add detail yet. I want to add fall off for sure. Okay, so this one is Z, this one is, which one is Y? Oh, this one is Y, so this guy is the opposite direction. Now let's sync that in, so it's a bit more mixed up. Let me see. So this one doesn't change it as much. Let's bring this down. Let's go 25 maybe here. Okay, let's now do the detail. So maybe frequency is too high here. Probably still too high. Okay, so this kind of makes more sense now, I think. If we look from the camera angle, it's too high, so we can move it down, I guess. Okay, let's maybe go 15. Okay, I'm guessing now this is gonna work better here with these values. Okay, let's go density, less density. Okay, maybe combination of these two will produce something even cooler. So this is density, this is density here. So this is 163. This is more red. So let's try this one. I think that this one needs to be just like really little, just to break up the look. So we can really go down on this density to something like this. Maybe 3. Something really faint. Okay, so that's ready as well. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop the video, and in our next video we will start creating the render scene. Basically what we need to do is, let me find it in my other scene. It's actually here. So which I did a similar thing. I kind of like mocked up my stuff, and then I said, okay, I need to bake these for each. So grant G is 1. So I have this RS land, and then I have this RS bake using the PDG. I also have them bakeable from a single location. You know, it's the same thing. And it's working with the wedges as well for building. So you know, it shifts a building and wedges it. And then we end up loading these guys in basically in the scene. And this is what we will be doing in the next video. All right, and also the trees, of course, we need to adjust the trees. I believe that will then conclude our lesson. Hopefully in 1 or 2 or at most 3 other videos. All right, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.